Hello, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to show you a fun new project. So, hopefully, you guys had a good day. Mine was a little crazy. I worked this morning and then went and got my hair done. Came home to prep a project that was due today, and I cannot find my dies. So, I literally had to start putting everything away from the retreat and I still haven't been able to find them. So hopefully tomorrow when I finish putting everything away that they will appear. But if they don't, if you happen to have come to either of the weekend retreats and you have the Nestled Essential die, please let me know so I can stop looking and pulling my hair out because I know they're here. I just don't know where yet. And literally, I am not in a hot mess. I know I say that, and 9 times out of 10, I am in a hot mess, but this time I'm not. The kids actually came over on Sunday to put all the tables and chairs up. So they actually helped me carry everything in and put it away. There was a few things that we had to put on the table, but not as tragic as it usually is after getting done with the retreat. But other than that, tomorrow is a new day, and hopefully my head will be screwed on straight and I'll be able to find those silly dies. Does that ever happen to you guys? You put it in a safe spot and then you can't find it? It's the story of my life. Good evening, Heather. Welcome. So if you're just logging on, say hi so I know you're here. We have so much to show you. I can now officially show you the pillow gift that we did for last weekend's retreat and the weekend prior to. I do show you guys after the event, but I don't want to give it away for the ones who have gotten it to go. Your to-go kits will go in the mail this week. PDFs are almost done. I will email those out and you will get a tracking for all of your goodies. So if you don't want to see what is in the to-go option, you can fast forward or just turn your computer around and not look at it because it is super fun and so adorable. Everybody absolutely loved them, and that made me so happy because I put so much love into into these pillow gifts and all of the make and takes. So I will show you guys everything. Good evening, Mary. Welcome. Okay, let's point you over so we can get crafting. So let's start with the make and takes that we did for the retreat. I know it's a little bright. Hopefully it will. Let me pull in a piece of paper and see if that will kind of make it a little bit easier to see. I don't know if that worked, but we're just going to keep going. So for the retreats, I pick a suite, I pick a bundle, I pick something that I really like, and I create cards with them, and that is your pillow gift. There is no rhyme or reason. We did do a lot, not a little bit, I won't lie. We did a lot of fussy cutting. So this is the Autumn to Remember designer series paper and stamp set. And we had to fussy cut these little leaves, but it was so beautiful. And at all of my retreats, you do get matching envelopes. So there's the one. I love the little reindeers on this one and the little bears and the fox. So there's that one. And then there is this one. So we did 3 out of this set. Sorry, I'm just making sure we're live on my Facebook, which I think we are. Yep, there we are. And then the next 3, oh, I love these cards, is using the Potions and Spell set. So this one we did do fussy cutting on almost every single one of these cards. So we had to fussy cut the bubbles on this one. There's this one where we fussy cut these bubbles and then the sentiment that goes on top. And yes, I do die cut all of these images for you. So anything that involves die cutting, I do for you. So all you had to do was sit and put your cards together. This one was a moment, I won't lie, because you have to fussy cut all of these bubbles and the little goob drobbles, I don't know what they're called. And I tied all of your guys' bows. So if you got the to-go kit, all of this is done for you. The only thing isn't is the stamping. And then the last set, absolutely gorgeous cards. And yes, all your bows were tied. You got all of the gems that went on there as well. I think these turned out so pretty. All of them did. I loved every single one of them. So those were the make and takes that we did. Hello, Lori. Welcome. Okay, so now let's bring in what your pillow gifts were. So I did have to tell everybody that they only got one pillow gift this retreat. And I was very sad that I could only hand out one pillow gift, but there was no way for me to divide these up to hand them out through the entire weekend. I literally racked my brain frantically trying to figure out how I could do it, and it just wouldn't work. So everybody got this beautiful piece of wood. And when you flip it over, it says home on the front of it. And everybody got 12 magnet circles for the O. So this is what everybody got. I am going to go ahead and show you the Halloween one. And they all came in a box. So change can be beautiful, which literally I think the sentiment was perfection for this set. So everybody got their pieces in the box and they got all 12 months in here. I'm not going to show each one of them because I did do a PDF version for it that will be available for purchase. So if anybody wants to make this, I tell you where I got the wood, how I did the letters, how I did each of the O's. So hopefully that will be coming out the end of this week as well. But it was so much fun. It was definitely a labor of love. I will not lie. But everybody loved it. It was well worth it to see the looks on everybody's faces when they were going through this little box of goodies. So that was the pillow gift. I know usually we have a ton to show, but this time it's just the one. And I did forget to pull in the bag and the nameplate. So this was everybody's nameplate when they came to their workstation. And if you ordered it to go, you will also get a nameplate. Lots of glitter on here, and it just stood on your desk like this. And the bags, I didn't bring the bags in here like a goofball. But everybody that ordered it to go will also get the bag. So there is all of that. My iPad froze. Hopefully my screen hasn't froze. Oh, thank you, Heather and Darlene. Welcome. Oh, I'm so glad you loved it. Okay, so let's talk about what we are going to be crafting with. I am not going to be able to get my Christmas Stamp-A-Stack done this year, and I'm very sad. So we're going to start a little early on doing some Christmas cards, at least on the Facebook Live. I know I have card class on Saturday, and I think my email was a little misleading, and I definitely apologize, but the holiday season does include fall and Halloween. So I think I'm going to do some fall and Halloween cards for this Saturday, and then the two classes in November and December will definitely be doing some Christmas cards. But the first one I wanted to do was the Snowy Wonder. It's the stamp set and the dies. I'm not using the dies for this card. We're just going to be focusing on the stamp set and the designer series paper. I know, I'm so sorry, Darlene. I think the trip and the retreat and the make and takes, I think it was just all, oh, I know. If I didn't have a husband and work and grandkids, I would just stay up all night long and do all of this. But I can't. But this is the designer series paper we're going to be using, and I love the snow globes. And then the opposite side are kind of more subtle images. And I picked one of the subtle images for the card we're going to be doing. But it's absolutely gorgeous. So fun. And I think some of these opposite sides would be beautiful for any occasion cards as well. So let's flip this one over. This is the one we're going to be playing with tonight. Isn't that gorgeous? I love all of these colors. It's garden green and it is, hold on, I have it right beside me, Poppy Parade. Garden green and Poppy Parade. And then the last two sheets. So this is what we're going to be playing with. So let's bring in the card. And you guys are probably going to look at it and think, oh my goodness, there is no way I'm going to be able to do that. But trust me, you will be able to do it. It is a super fun and easy card to do. It looks hard, but it isn't. So this is the one we're going to be playing with, but I did make two other cards using the same design. I did pull in the Sweetly Scripted stamp set for these two. So there's a happy birthday, and this one is Speedy Recovery, and I heat embossed the Speedy Recovery. I actually made two of these. My girlfriend, I needed one for my girlfriend, so I sent that to her. And then I was like, oh, I should do another one to showcase it on my Facebook Live. So then I decided to make another one. So doesn't have to just be for Christmas. It can definitely be for the holidays as well. So there's that. So let's bring in all of the fun product that we are going to be needing. I have a piece of Poppy Parade. This is 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it right in half at 4.25. I have two pieces of our basic white. They measure 4 inches by 5.25. One is going to go on the inside. And I have another piece of coordinating cardstock. I did pull in Poppy Parade, and this measures three and a half by 4.5. And then our designer series paper is 3.25 by 4.25. So even though it is a triangle, it still is our 1/4 inch smaller on all sides. So it still will mat, but we're going to do a little bit of cutting before we mat that. So let's bring in our handy dandy paper trimmer. And I'm just going to pull in the basic white and then our two pieces, and the other two I'm going to just set aside for a few minutes. So the first cut we're going to do is we're going to take our coordinating cardstock and we are going to cut this from corner to corner. And I did bring in another set of blades because I'm not entirely sure how sharp this blade is. But if you go really fast, it should work. The slower you go, the more tears you're going to get. Now that I say that out loud, it's going to totally backfire, but let's see how fast it'll work. Oh, see, look at that. It actually worked. So I just did corner to corner. Remember, it was like this prior, and then I chopped it into two. So I'm going to push my trimmer over to the side for a second because I want to bring these in, and I want to show you a really good way to know how to cut the designer series paper. So I'm going to lay these on my basic white piece. Now I'm going to take my designer series paper, lay it on here, and now I know I need to cut from this corner to this corner. Sometimes if you're not, I'm a very visual person, so if I'm not visually looking at it, I kind of get a little discombobulated and sometimes will accidentally cut the opposite corner. But while I was doing these, I was like, oh, I'm just going to set this on here, and now I know I need to go from this corner to that corner. So I'm going to push that out of the way, bring in my paper trimmer, and I'm going to cut this one corner to corner. Perfect. Now we can bring this back in, and look, it lines up perfectly. Voila, right? All those little tiny helpful hints will save you from pulling your hair out because you cut it the wrong way. Okay, so now I am going to add some of our multi-purpose glue. I call it green glue. The glue isn't green itself, it's just the bottle. But it's just easier to say green glue. So I'm going to lay this on. And because we put the designer series paper 1/4 inch smaller, it will always line up. So you'll have that nice pretty border. So I'm just gluing those down. Perfect, it looks good. So now what I'm going to do, and once you get the hang of this, you probably won't have to do each of these steps all the time. I'm going to kind of line this up to where I'm going to have a nice pretty border around the edge, but then I'm going to pull it all the way back so it's touching the corners. This is just going to give me a wider gap in the middle to do my stamping. And I didn't find that out the hard way, but when I was making these earlier, it helped me not to make sure that I wasn't going to get ink on my designer series paper. So just a little tip. You might not have to do that. I did. Okay, so now I'm going to take Season's Greeting. And I'm going to ink up the Poppy Parade. And I'm going to come in and stamp. Okay, let me do this. So you see how I have a nice gap in between so I can see where I'm stamping. Had I left these where it goes, it's going to leave me such a tiny spot that I would be afraid my hand was going to shake or something. So that's a better little visual. So I'm going to ink up the Season's Greeting, stamp it right in the center. Perfect. And then I'm going to bring in the Garden Green, and I just need to make sure I bring in my sample. I just want to make sure I do the hollies right. So I'm going to do the holly in Garden Green. I'm going to do this side as well. Perfect. And then I'm going to do these on the edge. I don't know if there's a specific way these go, so I'm just stamping them. There we go. That's all the stamping we're going to do on this. So I'm going to close these just so I don't put my hand in it. I'm going to grab some dimensionals, and I am going to grab the big and the small. So flip this over, and I want the mini ones at each of the corners. And then I'm going to put some big ones on here as well. And I honestly think it needs a couple more. I know some people are going to yell at me for using so many dimensionals, but you know what? If you want to fill your entire piece with dimensionals, do it. It's your card. If you only want to put one, do it. So I'm going to peel the backing off. Throw these away, otherwise they're going to end up all over my room. So now when I go to lay this down, I'm just gonna hold it on both ends, and I want to make sure I'm not going to cover up the sentiments, but I want to get it pretty close. There we go. Now let's flip this around and do the same thing to this side. Perfect. Now let's bring our card base in. We're going to fold it, give it a good crease. Let's glue our basic white piece on the inside. You can see the glitter from my nameplate is sticking to everything. I even sealed the wood after I painted it, and it literally still came off. I was very sad. Now you could definitely stamp one of these images on the inside. I didn't on my original card, but I think I am going to go ahead and stamp a couple hollies. I'm just going to stamp it on the inside. And if you wanted to put a big sentiment on the inside, you definitely could. It just means a less writing you have to do for your Christmas cards, which is never a bad thing sometimes. And then let's glue this to the outside. And I actually have one more to put together for you guys. So if you're just joining and you didn't get to see it from the beginning, I will show you what I'm doing. I won't go over all the measurements and everything again because I did that in the beginning, and all of the instructions are written before I went live. But we will cut and put one more together. Hopefully we have time. I'm not even going to look at the time. We're just going to do it. Okay, paper trimmer. Start with your card base. We are going to cut from corner to corner. I'm going to scooch this over for a second because I am still not a professional at this, and I want to triple check that I am going to cut my paper correctly. So I'm going to cut from this corner to that corner. And I bet the professionals are probably laughing at me, but that's okay. So line those up. Go really fast if you're not entirely sure if your blade is sharp. And let's glue these together. And you could definitely glue these down. You don't have to pop them up. But I thought since I wasn't using any rhinestones or gems or anything, that I would give this card a smidgen of dimension. So that's why I chose to pop these layers up. Perfect. Let's bring this in, and I am just going to go ahead and tuck it up to the corner for now, and then we will pull it in later. Let's grab our gems, or not our gems, our ink. I was trying to see for any comments as I was talking. Don't try to do more than one thing at a time. Focus. We are focusing on stamping, not looking at our iPad. Perfect. Let's grab the garden green. And I'm going to do one here. Oh man, snap, crackle, pop. Am I going to be able to fix that? Nope, but you know what? It's totally okay. Bam. We're going to do that again. See how easy that was? That is why there's two sides to each piece of paper. Just flip it over. And I still had my ink out, so it's not even tragic. See, you guys are not the only ones that still make mistakes. Put a little bit more pressure on that, Sarah. Perfect. And then our little holly balls. Perfection. Hello, Jessica. Welcome. Hello, Teresa. I just saw you guys. It's not popping up on my iPad that you guys are saying hi, but I just looked over on my computer and now I can see it. Let's see if anybody else has joined. Hello, everybody. And thank you. It is a fun card and it is so easy. Okay, dimensionals, glue it together, and then we will be done. And I will bring all of them back in. And you don't have to do this as a Christmas card. As if you were on right from the beginning, I did a get well and a birthday using the same design. Easy peasy. Okay, let's see if I can get all of these on one swoop without having to dump it. I was close on losing them last time. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I was really close on losing all the dimensional backings. Not bad this time. Okay, I put mine sideways. It was a little bit easier for me to maneuver my paper and make sure I was getting a nice pretty border. So that's another little tidbit. And I'm going to rotate it again. It's just an awkward shape. There we go. It still is a little awkward of a shape. Crease. Let's do some gluing, and then I'll bring them all back in. And yes, I will tell you guys, I have designed my house Christmas card. It's going to be a moment, but it's so stinking adorable. I love it. We're supposed to go camping for my birthday weekend, so I think that is what I'm going to take with me. Considering I am a pro at crafting in a moving vehicle, I'm like, I can do it while we're driving. So there we go. You can add some gems and stuff if you want to these. I thought it was perfect the way it is, but you can definitely feel free to add some sparkles. But here's the ones that we did for tonight, and these is a speedy recovery and happy birthday. So it doesn't just have to be a holiday card for this design, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And I hope you guys think so as well. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and I stayed within my 30 minutes. I really try to keep my Facebook Lives 30 minutes or less. Sometimes they're only 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes we take up the full 30 minutes. But thank you so much for joining me. I will definitely be back on Thursday. We do not have a retreat this weekend. So I will see everybody Tuesday and Thursday for the next few weeks. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me. And I do have 4 of my retreat to goes left. The link is above, so you can click on the link. But once those 4 are gone, they are gone. I don't have any more, but I will have the PDF available. So I'll send an email out, and when I do my lives and stuff, I'll post that as well. So I will see everybody on Thursday and have a great next couple days. Chat with you soon. Bye-bye.